What's up, y'all? Wanted to give this quick tip that I've been implementing more this year, and it's really helped. This is good advice if you're a solo operator, definitely, or if you still deal with a lot of the day-to-day in your business, like answering calls, customer service. So when you're a solo operator or you're newly started in lawn care, some of the most stress that you have in your business is dealing with customer complaints. Dealing with a customer complaining that your job wasn't done right. So for example, I just had a customer reach out to me, and she sent me a video and a text message. So the video she was going around the perimeter of her property with her camera and showing all these, just a few leaves. Like it was some leaves, some debris that was around the perimeter of her property. And her yard isn't super neat. Like it wasn't a super neat and kept yard. There's some overgrown bushes, there's some overgrown vines, there's some it was some trash, there's some like things that obstruct like a clear view. Like there's a piece of tile, there's a dog cage, a lot of things that kind of obstruct your view. And when you're a solo operator, you kind of learn, like, you deal with the customer according to how they deal with themselves. Like, I'm not going to be super nitpicky on a property when I'm servicing it for someone who doesn't upkeep their lawn, who leaves a lot of debris and trash and stuff like that, right? So I kind of fill my customers out and hand walk them according to how picky they are, right? Even though I try to give good service on every yard, it's just I'm not going to put crazy amount of effort into someone who doesn't, put a lot of, how it is. Like, they don't keep up well with their yard. But anyway, so this lady made this video. She showed me all these spots where I missed some leaves, over, whatever the case is. So, and in the message, she said, hey, it's been 3 visits now with your service, because she's on bi-weekly. And she said, and you said that these things would improve as you continue to service the yard. Because, for example, I didn't do a complete cleanup of her yard. I just did a normal service even on the first visit. And I told her, because there was piles and piles of leaves, I told her, hey, it's not going to go from, overgrown, unkept, a lot of leaves from the winter and fall, to looking super crystal pristine overnight in one service. I said, but it will gradually improve as we come out more, since I'm not charging you a one-time cleanup fee to be here for that sufficient amount of time to make everything good. So I'm trying to make it budget friendly for her, which usually sometimes comes to bite you in the ass, comes back to bite you. But so she said, hey, it's been 3 services now, and I feel like these areas still haven't been addressed, whoop-de-whoop. So being more seasoned now, I mean, in the beginning, that stuff may have made me like start to sweat and stress out. But being a bit more seasoned now, I don't get stressed with that type of stuff, and I don't respond right away. So this is my workflow, and it helps me. So I look at the property. I mean, I look at the issue, right? And I take time to gather myself, because the initial reaction is like, you want to say it's not my fault, it's your fault, and look for reasons to justify what you're doing. But I've noticed it's not really beneficial to, if you're going to drop a customer, just drop them. If the customer seems like it's going to be a headache, just drop the customer, don't deal with them. But if you want to continue to do service for that customer and it's not that big of a deal, and it's something that you can easily rectify, then just take blame. Just fess up, take the blame, right? So after going through my, I went ahead and mowed one property, just so I can, like, relax. Sometimes my first thought is a little too brash. So my second, after doing a property, I'm like, all right, this isn't a big deal. What I did is I copied her message and I put it in Chat GPT, And then I replied with how I wanted to reply in my own words, sloppily. I didn't want to overthink it. So I just said, hi, Diana, thank you for showing me the areas that need attention. I could definitely, be doing better and be more attentive at that. What I'll do is I'll come back later in the week when I have time. Right now we're a little behind schedule, but I'll make it a priority once I catch up to come back out and take care of those areas. It's literally going to take me like 10-15 minutes to blow everything in a pile and rake it up, right? Move some obstacles around that I didn't move around, right? Move the dog cage, move all that stuff that I could have her do, like, hey, you got to move this stuff out the way. But I'm like, I'll take care of it. It's going to take me literally 10-15 minutes. So I said, hey, I'll take care of that. Thanks for bringing it to my attention, right? So put that in ChatGPT. ChatGPT cleans it up, makes it more polished, and send it back to her. She says, oh, thank you for your attention. Everybody's head cools down. What this also allows me to do is anytime a customer reaches out to me for a complaint or to bring something to my attention or an extra request, or even just like if I'm servicing a property and a customer comes up to me and wants to talk and chit chat, which usually like gave me anxiety when I first started, or you got stuff to do, you're rushing and the customer's like talking, you're just like sitting there like, come on, right? It used to really irk my nerves. Now anytime a customer reaches out to me, whether it's in person or online, through chat, through email, first I de-escalate the situation, right? I admit fault if it's my fault. I address it. I let the customer know that they're right. Or at least that I understand their issue, right? I understand their concern, right? It's a thing in sales. Like, you always agree first. You isolate the issue, make sure that you're addressing the issue. Agree, isolate. Then you overcome the objection. Hey, this is what I can do to make it right. And then the last step of it is to sell. Anytime a customer reaches out, whether it's a complaint or to chit chat or whatever, I'm always using that as an opportunity to sell, right? Always be closing, always sell. So with this customer, after I clean up the job, I'm gonna show her pictures and say, hey, I cleaned it up. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I got it looking nice for you. She's gonna agree, thank you. And then I'm gonna upsell her the bush trimming and vine trimming job that I already tried to sell her 3 weeks ago, but she didn't want to do it at the time. But I'm gonna upsell her so that the leaves don't get caught in the vines and the leaves don't get caught under these bushes that make it hard to see, right? That way everything looks better. It's easier for me to get the debris up, and we're not, just upsell. I'm always gonna shoot the shot. I had a customer came out to me to just talk the other day. Hey, Daryl, whoop, and he wanted to tell me about his day and his grandchildren, and all that's cool, but but I have things to do. So what I did is, after the customer got through, with their short, wasting my time type of thing and chit chatty, I said, hey, I noticed, hey, it was great talking to you, John. Let me go ahead and get back to work. I got a busy, full schedule. I don't want to fall too far behind. All right, Daryl, before they walk away. Hey, John, before you go, I noticed in your flower beds in the front, could definitely use some attention. Those weeds are getting kind of high. I can go ahead and clean that up for you, or, put an estimate together, whatever the case is. Hey, oh yeah, Daryl, you know what? I'm trying to cut back a little this year and on my budget, but you know what? Go ahead and take care of it. I always shoot the shot. So it increases my sales. It increases my upsells. It gives me a better outlook, so where I'm not dreading those moments to where the customer reaches out to me with a complaint, or whatever the case is. And I forgot the last thing I was going to say, but it gives me an opportunity to upsell. Oh, so yeah, it gives me opportunity to upsell. It also makes them think twice before they reach out. If you always gonna try to sell them something, they'll be more, they're not just gonna nitpick for the sake of nitpicking, and they're not just gonna waste your time. Like, every time you come out to the property, they're gonna, hey, Gerald, how's the weather? You right? And if they do, I'm gonna tax them, right? I'm always going to try to upsell you a service, a fertilizer, a weed treatment, a weed pulling, a bush removal, mulch installation. Every time you come out to me and stop me and I got to turn my mower off, I'm going to take advantage of that moment and try to upsell you. Now, there was another one I wanted to bring up. Oh, also, I had a new customer that reached out to me. She said, hey, this wasn't a part of her thing, but she said, hey, my last gardener used to pull the weeds in this flower bed, right? I just wanted to know, is that going to be included with your service, or is it going to, I could have took that as a time to like upsell her some wheat flower bed maintenance or something like that, or say, hey, you didn't really pick that package or whatever. But I said, you know what, next time I come out, yeah, I'll definitely spray that. I'll spray those weeds for you. We don't really stop and pull the weeds unless they're big because it breaks at the roots, but I can definitely spray them for you, or I just string trim it, whatever the case. I'll take care of it, right? So again, I agreed. I isolated her concern. I made sure I brought it up. That's what they really want, just to make sure that they're heard. I overcame. I gave her agree, isolate, overcome. I gave her a way to solve the issue or the problem or the thing that she wants. And then lastly, I sold. But this time I didn't sell her with an additional service. What I sold her with was a review. So after I came back on the next service and I did the lawn and I string trimmed the flower bed, the weeds in the flower bed so that she couldn't see anything. And with this particular one, she actually reached out to me again while I was servicing the property and was like, hey, Daryl, I see that you're at my property right now. I can see you on the doorbell thing. There's a package in front of my door. Can you just tuck it off to the side? I said, oh, bam, got you. Because I was going to reach out to her anyways after the service, but she reached out to me. So I said, hey, yeah, I'll take care of it. I did a thumbs up, finished my job. And then afterwards, I said, hey, so-and-so, I just finished up service at your property. I made sure to tuck the package in to the right of the door. Just wanted to let you know so that nobody can see it from the street. And of course, there was no other place to put the package, but I just wanted to bring it up that, hey, I went out of my way to do the extra thing that you asked me. Also, I took care of that flower bed, that concern that you had. I hit those weeds in the flower bed, right? I'm buttering her up. And then I'm going for the kill. I said, and it's been a month now, right? She was bi-weekly, so it's been 2 services. It's been a month now. We'd love to get your feedback on how we're doing, because it's our, what we do is we try to, I forget how I worded it. Again, I sloppily word it. I put it in Chat GPT and I just copy and paste it. Like, I let Chat GPT do the hard thinking. I just give them the outline. So I said what I said, and I said, basically, it's been a month now. Shoot me a review on Google. We greatly appreciate it. We're trying to be a 5-star service business, and this allows us to make sure we on our up and up with our service, right? So I copy and paste and sent that to her, and she said, sure, and she left the review. So I just wanted to use this as an example for y'all. This might help some of y'all. Just look at any time a customer reaches out to you, whether it be a complaint or whether it be to shoot the ish, right? Which is all good, but our time is valuable. Like, in any time you're not making money, if you turn off your mower, you're losing money or that you could be making. So make it count, make it worth your time, and try to upsell them. Either upsell them on an additional service, or upsell them on a review, or just use the opportunity to flip it into a positive one. Like, some of my main customers is like the customers who had an issue at a time and they were nitpicky, and I was able to flip it, and I took care of their concern, and now they love me because I agreed, I took care of their issue, and I didn't try to diminish what was their concern. It's their property, it's their lawn, it's their grass. they can be as nitpicky as they want. And if you want to continue to do service with them, then find a way to work with them. All right. But instead of making that a issue for them, like, man, I hated to reach out to Daryl. It was a big deal last time. He didn't take responsibility for whatever the case is. Just make it an enjoyable one. Agree. Don't be a pushover, but just agree, and then use it as an opportunity to upsell. Then it's a win-win for everybody. They get their issue fixed, and you got something out of it as well. All right. I hope that helped. Peace.